Do I prefer sugar drinks more than zero sugar drinks? How can escape rooms become better? And why do I love root beer? Well, I talk about all that and more on this episode of the Toddcast. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Toddcast. As always, I'm your host, Todd McManus, on this still warm Louisiana day. It is somehow still warm, getting colder here and there. Some days are cold, some days not. So we're getting there. You know, it's not a slow burn, it's a slow freeze here in Louisiana, where it's either very hot, or just freezing cold. And there's really no in between, honestly, unless it's like noon to 2 p.m. whenever it's at its hottest during the day. The highest amount of temperature during the day, it happens at that time here. But anyways, as we either melt or freeze to death, there's not really much happening in today's world that I will talk about throughout the world and everything. I will mention that Spider-Man 2 came out about a month ago. I have not had the opportunity to play it yet. I will definitely have to check that out at some point in the future, because I enjoyed the first Marvel's Spider-Man game on PS4. I think it was PS4 when that game came out. And then Spider-Man Miles Morales came out like the day the PS5 was released. And I have played through all of that game. And now Spider-Man 2 is available to play and to purchase on PlayStation 5. And you can play as both Peter Parker, Spider-Man, and Miles Morales. So I'm looking forward to that. Of course, it's already come out, and I already know some of what has happened already. And Venom is involved, and Kraven the Hunter, and Sandman. You know, so I'm looking forward to playing that game and getting deep into that story, and looking forward to more that they're going to put out of PS5 Marvel games, because they are stellar. Looking forward to the Wolverine game, which was announced a while back, that there would be a Wolverine game on PS5. So I'm looking forward to that. But anyway, other than that, I wanted to get into something that I thought of real quick, and I think it's something that we all can agree on, that you have got to agree on me with this, and some places might do this. I don't know if they do. I've only been to a handful, to be honest, as in like 3. But what I want to talk about is escape rooms. Now, we all have most likely participated and partook in a escape room. Escape rooms, if you do not know what an escape room is, it is basically the basic foundation of it is that you and a group of people, whether it's your family, your friends, or just some random people, are basically shoved into this room or multiple rooms, and you have to solve puzzles in the room to eventually somehow find a key or a code to use on a outside door and get out within 60 minutes. That is, most of them are an hour long. And that's what the basic premise of all of them are. Some of them have, I was in one of them where it was me and some friends, and we were locked in different rooms. And Jaron, who is, multi-time guest here on the Toddcast, he was a part of an escape room with me and some other people. And it was like 2 people were in a room, 2 other people were in a room, and then me and Jaron were in 2 separate rooms, but they were like small closets that we were next to each other, but there was like holes in the wall between us, so we couldn't get out. We had to wait until people let us out individually, but we could see and talk to each other through the wall when we each had like our own, because I'm pretty sure I had like a puzzle or something in mine, but I also had like a body bag with a dude in it, who, it wasn't a real guy, it was like a mannequin, but I think it was like a flashlight was in the body bag, and that's what I needed to get so I could use the flashlight, and it was like a pivotal thing to have because it was so dark in that room. And I took part in another one that I was like in some office rooms type escape room, and I swear I did a third one. That's all I can remember is the two, but I definitely would like to do one again in the future, of course. But the reason I bring up escape rooms is, and I don't know if some of them do this, like I said before. If some of them do this, that's great. But if not, all of them need to do this. Because all escape rooms have security cameras in the rooms that you're in. Because normally another addition to it is that if you get stuck or can't figure out what to do, you can ask for help and get a hint, and you get like 3 hints, and that's it. So, and there's usually like a story or some, backstory to why you're in there or what's going on, with the room. Who owns the room? Is it like a psychopath trying to kidnap you? Is it like an evil doctor who's going to do tests on you? That kind of stuff. Or you're trying to hide in a cabin or something away from like a Jason or Michael Myers type killer, But the reason all this buildup is the reason I want to bring the attention that since there's these security cameras in these escape rooms, why don't escape rooms have an ability, once you're done with the room, let's say you actually get out. In a 60-minute time limit, you were able to accomplish it with you and your group of people that are with you within 50 minutes. And you celebrate, you got out, you completed the task, you were able to do it. Why don't they have the, should say ability again, to say, okay, you won. Now we're going to charge you however much, $10, $20 or something. And we will give you the recording of you and your group escaping the room. Because there's already security cameras in there. Why don't they record what they're watching, set them to record, and they record the entire attempt and the successful attempt that you had? I think that would be hilarious, in my opinion, because I thought about this, and I was like, whether you fail or succeed, it would be so funny, because you never get more closer with someone or a group of people. You never get more closer with them unless you were put in a dire situation like an escape room. And the conversations and people running around and some people not knowing what to do, and then somebody might fall down. And some people, there might be a little crawl space, and everybody has to crawl through it, but one person is claustrophobic. So it's like, that would be hilarious in my opinion. And I don't know if escape rooms already do that, but if there's ever any escape room or escape rooms that offer that function that you can have to be able to have a recording of your attempt, I think that'd be hilarious. I really do. Just imagine that, like you and your friends, and like you're yelling and you're like, we gotta get out of here, move, figure out the puzzle. You're just screaming at the top of your lungs, just trying to get out of this deadgum escape room. It's so hilarious. I love the idea. That should be a thing. So if you know somebody, or you are someone who runs or owns your own escape room, please do that. Figure that out if you can be able to do that. Or if you already do that, good on you. But if you're able to do that, that is a opportunity I think people are missing. Because I would love to do that. If I go to an escape room anytime soon, and it's with, group of people that I know, of course, and not just some strangers that are in there, and we're running through and trying to figure it out. And we're like, what do we do? Figure out this riddle, figure out this puzzle, and use this key and all that kind of thing. If we're able to do that, then I think that would be great. I would love that. So just throwing that out there. If anybody hasn't thought of that before, that's a good idea right there that you should use for your escape room. Because that's a missed opportunity in itself. Because just imagine you and your family's doing it, and then you get the recording after and you watch, and you're not going to remember what you say or do in the heat of the moment. That's just the way it is. And that would just be hilarious in my opinion. So, yeah, just throwing that out there. Thought of that. I was like, man, that would be hilarious to do. So, with all that being said, I think it is time for some questions from all of you, a good Q&A. We've got 2 questions here. We're going to go ahead and go through these. If you want to submit your own question, there is a link down in the description of this episode that will take you to my YouTube channel. Click or tap on that. Go to one of the videos, and in the comment section, comment your question, and you can also comment your very own drink or food items that you would like for me to review on a future episode as well. So we've got 2 questions here, and we're going to go ahead and get through these. First question we got is, what is your best and worst restaurant experience? There's definitely some bad ones. I think everybody can agree that you probably have more bad than good restaurant experiences. Because if you have a really great restaurant experience, it's got to be like over the top, not messing anything up, super nice people, and you also probably should be feeling good on that day. But like a worse experience, or just in general a bad experience, they could mess up your food. Like for me anyway, they can mess up my food, and then I will tell them, and they'll take it back and bring it back pretty quickly. I'm fine with that. If they take forever to cook the food, and then they bring it out and it's wrong, then I'm going to be like, okay, we're leaning towards bad. This is not a bad experience, or this is a bad experience. And the waiters or waitresses, if they're very nice or cordial, that's what I would look for in a good experience because of the experience overall. If it's a nice place, if stuff is working, if all of the menu is available, if they are out of things that can affect the experience, if that's something that I would like to have, if I look on the menu on the website or on an app, and then I go there and find out that there is like no mozzarella sticks or something. I'm like, well, dadgum, that's what I wanted, But yeah, that all affects it, of course. But me personally, I'm trying to think of like really good ones. We're going to go with sit-down restaurants, not fast food. Really great experience. Man, I can't even think of... I know restaurants that have always been good to me and not too slow. The bigger your party is, the longer it'll take because they try to bring everybody's food out at once. But I've had experiences at different restaurants that are good. They're different Mexican restaurants, different steakhouses, different sushi restaurants, I've had great experience at all of them. But you can also have a bad experience at that same restaurant. Because the one that always sticks out in my mind is that we went to this restaurant. It was me and 3 other people. We went to this restaurant located in Monroe, Louisiana. And I will not shout them out because they don't even deserve the praise of being mentioned on here. We were excited. We looked at the menu. All 4 of us were like, okay, let's go eat here. I've never eaten here, and I think every one of them haven't eaten there before. And I was like, you know what? Let's do it. We're trying a new place in a place that, is close to us, and we'll try it out. So we all went there, and we waited, and we got seated. We waited a few minutes to get a seat, and then we waited, and then we waited, and then we waited, and then we waited, and we waited some more. And then we waited, and then guess what? We waited. Then we waited. We talked. We looked around. We asked questions to each other, like, where are they? And then we waited some more. And then, lo and behold, we had to wait some more because we waited an hour before we got menus. No drink order, no food order. Sat in the chair for 1 hour until menus were brought to the table. And that is some sucky food service. Like, it's bad. Because I'm at my second job now, and it's, some of it is food service. My first job was in food service, and I understand, you need to have quick as possible ticket times while making the food really good. And, I've watched Gordon Ramsay, I've watched Bar Rescue, I understand getting food out, getting drinks out. I don't work in the food service business all the way to being like running a restaurant and all that. But I kind of understand it on that, on that premise. Everybody does. So after waiting for an hour and got menus, they took our order. They took our drink order and our food order at the same time because we had already looked up the menu on our phone. And I was like, we got to look up the menus on our phone. That way when they bring the menus, we're going to get them to take our order now. That way we can hurry up and get food. So they took our drinks. They took our food, left. And then about 10 minutes, we got drinks. So we waited 10 minutes for drinks. They brought drinks out. And then after that was when we found out that there is only 3 people working in this restaurant. A cook, and then a guy and a girl, and only one of them could bartend, and the other one was only waiting. So, and then the guy who bartended would also talk to a bunch of people and stay behind the bar, and I'm like, if this girl who is having trouble bringing all these food out for like 15 to 20 tables, you need to like have more people. And apparently it got under new management, and then like people hated the people, I guess, and they fired some people, and then next thing you know it's just them, and I'm like, man, this is sucky. And it was like a Saturday night, I'm pretty sure. And so after that, after getting our drinks and drinking all of it, and then I waited some more. We waited, talk, the same old thing. And then after 40 to 50 minutes, now have been there for 2 hours, then food was put on our table. And don't get me wrong, the food was pretty good. I enjoyed the food. The food was all right, but it doesn't need to take from me sitting down to me getting food. It's not worth 2 hours of my time. And so we ate the food, ate pretty much all of it because we were starving at this point after 2 hours of sitting in a restaurant. They come over, they took our money and our cards. We waited a few minutes after that, and then they brought our stuff back, and then we left. None of us left a tip because, well, I think one person left a tip because they felt bad. But, I was upset and aggravated. So I was like, we're just leaving. And then we went over to a Small Cakes because we had to get dessert. So we all agree that we never would go back. And I don't think any of us ever did. And I don't even know if that restaurant's still there. Because that is unexcusable. Because I'm not, and I feel bad that there was only 3 people. And if I knew the exact reason why there was 3 people, then maybe I wouldn't feel as bad toward it or I wouldn't be as negative towards the situation. But if you have only 3 people And from my understanding is that they just got under new management. If people left, then that's not their fault. But if they got under new management and they just fired a bunch of people and they haven't hired anybody yet, then why am I the one who has to suffer for their bad management skills and their bad leadership? And the customer is the one who is, suffering. And the way that it seemed is that they would take care of their friends and take care of people that they know. And we were new customers, brand new customers. If the food had come out within, a few minutes, drinks, food, a regular restaurant experience and regular time, I would probably went back because the food was, like I said, it was good. But I'm not waiting 2 hours for a burger. It's, that if I'm waiting 2 hours for a burger, that burger better be the best burger in the world, and it should be free, because I'm not waiting to pay for a burger that I waited 2 hours on for it to not only just be good, but have to wait and waste my time and waste my night doing that. So, and it's a good thing we didn't schedule anything afterwards. And if we did, we would have had to cancel it anyway because it was taking too long. So yeah, that is the only one I can think of being one of the worst restaurant experiences. Of course, we've gotten food poisoning from a restaurant, but I don't think the restaurant experience wasn't bad. It was just everything after. It was like the next 2 days after that were sucky. So, yeah, that's got to be one of the worst restaurant experiences of my life. If you have a restaurant experience that you absolutely hate and that was the worst for you, comment it down below, and I'll look through and see what worst experiences you have compared to mine. So the next question we have here is, do you like diet or zero sugar drinks more? It's an interesting question because I drink Diet Coke the most, and I like it more than Coke Zero, but, and this is actually skipping ahead to what I might be drinking here in a minute to review. Barq's root beer is one of my favorite drinks of all time, and I love it very much, and I have for a very long time. But Barq Zero has really grown on me because, it doesn't have any sugar, and it's a zero. But I don't know if there is a Diet Barq's. I don't know. I'd have to look into that to see if a Diet Barq's is even a real thing. So, but, I like Sunkist Zero. I don't know if there's a Diet Sunkist. There's a Sprite Zero. It seems like there's more zero drinks than diet. But from my understanding is that diet takes out the sugar and replaces it with aspartame. And zero can either be zero sugar or 0 calories, because that's interchangeable with some drinks. When they say zero, 0 sugar, 0 calories. But with Coke Zero, on the calorie count at like a restaurant's menu at Sonic, if you get a Route 44 Coke Zero, it has 5 calories. But if you get any other size smaller than that, it's 0. So I don't know what's happening there, because how do you have a Route 44 Coke Zero and it's 5 calories? Like, apparently it's 0 sugar, but there might be like less than 1 calorie in a can or something like that. I don't understand, but I don't know. It's weird because there's 5 calories in a Route 44 Coke Zero. How is that even possible? But to me, I drink Diet Coke the most, and Barq Zero is really good. So I guess I would say diet is better than 0 sugar. But I would have to try a lot more diet and 0 sugar products. If they have like a diet and 0 sugar of the same drink like Coke, or even like Dr. Pepper, then I would try it, because I don't like Diet Sprite. I don't even know if that's a thing, but they have a 0. So they'll have a 0 of things, but not a diet. So that's the thing I'd have to look for to see which drinks have both. So, and with that being said, like I just actually mentioned a few minutes ago, is that I've got 2 drinks here I'm going to review, and we're going to be doing this drink review a little bit differently, because these are 2 drinks I have reviewed before and that I actually like both of them a lot. I have got regular Barq's root beer and a can of Barq's Zero Sugar root beer. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to taste both of these and rank them, of course, because I already have ranked both of these before in the past, and I will actually see. Okay, I guess I have not then. Never mind. So, but I know Barq's root beer is my personal favorite root beer of all time, and Barq's Zero root beer is so good. I just love it. So I'm actually going to go for the Barq's Zero first. If I can get it open. It's a little bent on the thing, so here we go. Let's go ahead and try Barq's Zero Sugar. That's really good. You can taste the goodness of the root beer. It's just so good. And it's such a strong flavor as well, but it's really good. Zero sugar. I recommend it. If you like root beer, definitely try out Barq's Zero Sugar root beer. I would probably give Barq's Zero Sugar, I mean, gosh, it's so good. I would give it a 95 because it's definitely up there as one of my favorite drinks of all time. But I want to see how it compares to Barq's root beer, the regular with sugar. This has 44 grams of sugar, so with 160 calories. Barq Zero, being zero sugar, 0 calories, is interesting considering this is 160, 44 grams of sugar at the same size of can that it is, and this is going to be a little interesting. So Barq's regular root beer, let's go ahead and give it a try. Oh, yeah. Oh, you can definitely tell it's got that kick of sugar in it. Oh, it's so good, though. All right. That's why I wanted to try the zero sugar first, because I didn't want to go with sugar and then not sugar and then be like, dang, this is missing something. Because it actually, it is missing something, all right. Man, these are actually really close. Like, it's a very small detail to be able to tell the difference between regular and zero sugar Barq's root beer. You can definitely tell a little bit that there is no sugar in the zero sugar, but for some reason, the zero sugar has like a stronger root beer taste to it. That, like, the zero sugar root beer is just way stronger than the regular root beer. Even though the regular Barq's root beer has a lot of sugar in it, it's just interesting that there's a stronger flavor versus sugar. So regular Barq's root beer, I mean, I'm going to give it a same score of a 95 because it's really hard to go against that. Actually, I'll bump both of these up to a 96 because it's just very hard to go against each other with this. And, you know, I wish it was, you know, more of a drastic change. I'll have to see. And if y'all want me to do this again, I'll be more than happy to do diet against sugar or sugar against zero sugar, or ranking them all, like do with Coke and get a regular, a diet, and a zero and see how they all rank against each other. I have started to come more around to Coke Zero. They all have caffeine, of course. Same as these. Barq's root beer is the only main brand of root beer that I know that actually has caffeine in it. So that's, of course, why I like it. But ending it off with both of those at a 96 score each. And if you like root beer and you're an avid root beer drinker, I recommend drinking Barq's Zero Sugar root beer because it is not really that much different. You might notice it if you drink a lot of root beer, you might notice it more, but it is really not much of a difference with between zero sugar against a regular good old root beer. So I think that's going to do it for this episode. Thank all of you for listening. And as always, please rate and subscribe. If you're listening on YouTube, please like, comment, subscribe, and click that bell to get notified when new videos are uploaded. And follow the Toddcast on Instagram for all your updates and Toddcast needs. Tell your friends and family to give a listen. And thank all of you once again for listening to this episode. And if you want to know what's going to happen next week, we're just going to tune in to find out. Only on the Toddcast.